are back. New episode of Boxing on the Go. I am your host, Noel Muro. What a weird time, right? No sports, no live events, nothing. I hope everyone out there is staying safe. But even as everyone is quarantined and there's a stay at home or stay in home or stay in shelter order where most of you are at, apparently there is still boxing news coming out. So, I really hope all of you are staying safe, staying indoors as much as you can. Even going to the grocery store is it's a big risk. I'm still working, like I've been telling you guys the last couple episodes, while this thing has been progressing, but it is what it is. I am, like I keep saying, an essential worker, so an essential employee for that matter. But I wanted to read some things to you guys, or give my thoughts on a couple things that about 6 hours ago, BoxingScene.com put out the tweet. So it was on my timeline. It said, Dmitry Bivol targets Canelo. I know I can beat him. I'll go to 168. Okay? So I thought that was pretty interesting amid everything going on right now. And, Dmitry Bivol is 17-0 with 11 knockouts. And I believe he has called out Canelo in the past. So I just wanted to read something from this article here at Boxing Scene, from this piece. And it says it's by Random Hits. And it says, and I quote from Dmitry Bivol, "I've said now for over a year that I'm ready, willing and able to move down to super middleweight and fight Canelo," said Bivol. "I have been training throughout the COVID-19 crisis and have watched on social media that Canelo has as well. I know that my team and Golden Boy Promotions have discussed this option, and we are willing to make the fight on very reasonable financial terms. My team understands that unlike many other opponents, my goal is not the payday, but to face the best in boxing today. I know I can beat him, and the real rewards will come after this fight." Another part of this article said, Vadim Bivol, "We are willing to work out a much more reasonable deal than what was paid to Canelo's recent opponents to make this fight. For Dmitry, it's more about the opportunity to dethrone one of the very best fighters in the world. I have heard that DAZN and all other parties involved are supportive of this fight, but whenever the name is brought up to Canelo, he says he would never do it. However, I don't know how much truth there is to this. It would be great to know if he is ready to fight other top champions in his division that are on the same network and are ready to make a simple and appropriate deal, as there are not many of them. I strongly believe that Dmitry Bivol as super middleweight is the toughest test for Canelo." So, with that, what are your thoughts? Please leave in the comments, anywhere you can. whether it's the Instagram or the Twitter post, wherever the YouTube video, wherever this is going to be posted. My thoughts. I'm not sure if look, if Dmitry Bivol goes down in weight to 168 pounds, and Canelo eventually, from what was reported, wants to fight at 168 at Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith, whoever they were picking. It looks like it was going to be Billy Joe Saunders. At this point in time, everything is up in the air. I don't know if he's just going to skip him and go straight to Triple G. Is he going to keep training at 168 pounds? Because he is still training. He's still in the gym. His Instagram, Golden Boy's Instagram, still shows him training. I don't know. The thing is, the guy's staying ready. But my inclination would think that he's going to stay training at 168 pounds and keep the sale going towards his plans. So I believe he still wants to get a real legitimate title at 168 pounds, get Billy Joe Saunders out of the way, and then eventually get to Triple G3, even though how much he said he did not want to do that a third time. He said he's already given the public 24 rounds of this, the fight that people were begging for. And there were two great fights, besides that whole round 7, that round 7 thing, that whole flub with that judge, and Adelaide Bird's judge card, and all that. So two good fights. The second fight was probably the better one. If you really want to judge it as far as these guys are just going towards each other, just beating each other. Canelo's going forward like they asked, and what an action-packed fight. But the first fight was really well done by Canelo as well. By staying on the outside, boxing. Guy did two different styles on both fights. So props to him. Props to Triple G. Triple G is still one of the best middleweights in the world. I'm not sure if he can make it at 168. I'm sure he can, but I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Part I'm not sure of is, he didn't want to go to 168 to fight Andre Ward, and Andre Ward was calling him out. So he said, hey, I'll meet you at 168. Nothing ever happened to that. Several other people called him out 168. Didn't want no business there. So just seems like it would just be a difficult it seems like he can just still make 160 pounds middleweight comfortably, and that's where he's most comfortable at. So that's where that is. As far as Canelo and Dmitry Bivol, Dmitry Bivol has a title at light heavyweight. So does Canelo, unless Canelo already, I think he already vacated that title. He just wanted to, he went and he proved himself against the top 3 guy, which is Kovalev. Kovalev beat Anthony Yard. Get over it, all right? Because he did. So then, Dmitry Bivol, who wins between Dmitry Bivol and Sergey Kovalev. Obviously, not right now, but let's say around the time of Sergey Kovalev, Anthony Yard. Who would have won that fight? Most people are going to say Dmitry Bivol. And I think Dmitry Bivol would have been dominating a lot of the fight, pretty similar to what happened in the Anthony Yard fight. And then, Kovalev just one punch, couple punches, gets him out of there. Maybe. Okay? I'm not speaking nonsense because he did get out a younger, probably stronger Anthony Yard. Got him out of there. Right? Yes, he did. So, with that being said, I guess I'll lean more towards Dmitry Bivol, but I don't know. I'd probably give Sergey Kovalev a good fighting chance. So that's, some food for thought, okay? Dmitry Bivol versus Canelo. On the other hand, it's saying on this article that Canelo doesn't really want any of that business, right? A lot of people would probably complain if Canelo won that fight that Dmitry Bivol was drained. He had to starve himself. He had to cut a lot of weight. Also, there's probably going to be a rehydration clause. Probably you can't go over 10 pounds after the weigh-ins, correct? I think something like that would be in place as well. Dmitry Bivol is a naturally bigger guy than Canelo, and the last couple guys that Canelo has faced have been bigger than him. So I'll leave that at that, and just think about that. If Canelo lost, Dmitry Bivol would have been like, "Oh, I beat the best pound for pound guy, pretty much. I beat the pound for pound king at the weight that he wanted to fight at." So this is a double-edged sword, guys. Okay, definitely a double-edged sword, and Dmitry Bivol, yes, would have, and that's only because, look, if he beats him at Canelo's request for any kind, and this is hypothetical, okay? This fight is not happening to my knowledge or anyone else's knowledge. We are still in the mid of this coronavirus pandemic, so let's try to make this very clear for you. If Dmitry Bivol beat Canelo at Canelo's terms, the Canelo fans would still be like, well, he's naturally the bigger guy. He's a natural light heavyweight. There's a lot of things on both sides that can really discredit the win of any guy. So, with that being said, it is what it is. If that fight happens, it'd be very exciting. Right now, I don't know how any fights are going to happen. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on with that. Moving on to the next subject. UFC 249 has been on the subject matter of this podcast for the last couple episodes. So, with or without any opinion that I've, been asking or any questions that I've been asking as of the opinion of is this greedy, selfish, or heroic of Dana White to continue with this this card? Besides that point, we still have this going on. Apparently, there is an island that this card will still continue, right? So we will have UFC 249 because what I've said is or what was reported and what I repeated was Khabib Nurmagomedov is stuck in Russia, in Dagestan. He cannot leave because the borders are closed, and there was reports that private jets could go in and out of there, but I have not followed up on why. I mean, that was a rumor. It was a report. I don't know what the actual news was. I think, Khabib made it clear on his Instagram Live, and it is what it is. So UFC 249 will continue with Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight championship. And on the undercard, a gigantic undercard. And from what Dana White said earlier today on a video, I'm sorry, I cannot remember who it was that was interviewing him, that I saw. I was not sure if it was done today or another day, but he did say that, and don't quote me on this, okay, that they're still completing construction on the actual facility at this island where these fights will take place, and that they've I believe they've missed about 3 big UFC cards to this date, or they're going to for week after week after. I think they're gonna try to get 3 big UFC cards. I'm sorry that not that they missed it, okay, but they will squeeze in 3 big UFC cards within 3 weeks, week after week after week, like I just said, and then get back on schedule, and then they'll just be on regular UFC schedule, fly people to this island, and they'll fight there. Okay, so on this undercard we have Andrade versus Namajunas 2 for the women's strawweight bout. Hardy versus De Castro heavyweight bout. Luque versus Price welterweight bout. Stevens versus Qatar featherweight bout. Francis Ngannou versus Rosenstruik heavyweight bout. Hall versus Jacare middleweight bout. Hernandez versus Morales lightweight bout. Vera versus Borg bantamweight bout. Johnson versus Worthy lightweight bout. Eubanks versus Moras women's bantamweight bout. And Span versus Alvey light heavyweight bout. And this is coming straight from the UFC Twitter handle, or not from the handle, I'm sorry, from the UFC Twitter account that they posted 6 hours ago. So there's your card. Just the way it was described, though, it was very that these fights are gonna take place on this island. It almost seems like some kind of tournament. And it reminded me of like Mortal Kombat, the first movie, the one that came out in the movie theaters in the 90s. And I loved that movie. So did my brother when we were little kids. Every kid that played Mortal Kombat watched that movie, watched it at home, and then they're all beating the shit out of each other anyways, right? I mean, in a playful manner. Everyone thought, you're Sub-Zero and you're Scorpion and all that stuff. So, I mean, okay, look, just as a refresher, if you don't remember, all these people are going on this ship, some on purpose, some not on purpose. They're going on this old Spanish galleon-looking ship. I forget off the coast of where, but it goes off into this fog, and then similar to like the King Kong, Kong Skull Island or something, like there's a storm and then you just make it to this island, right? So making it to this island, then there's this big tournament, and then that's where the Mortal Kombat tournament takes place, from all these fighters from around the world, and also the what is it? Outworld, I think it's called. And don't quote me on that, but pretty much that's how that goes. Also, there's a Bruce Lee movie. I'm not sure if it's Enter the Dragon, Fist of Fury. I forget which one it was, but there is also a Bruce Lee movie where goes to this island. He fights Kareem. What the fuck is his name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm sorry, Kareem. Laker legend. I know. Sorry, guys. But, he fights him. I believe it's the same movie, but pretty much a big tournament on the island as well, if I can remember correctly. But this all is, UFC 249 is all reminding me of that. So, I don't know. That's, there was, and then there was a guy with that artificial hand, that claw, just scratching the shit out of Bruce Lee in that room of mirrors, right? So apparently it's saying UFC 249, April 18th, Saturday. I don't see any, as far as oh, here we go. Look, 3 hours ago, someone posted the same shit I'm talking about, and I did not steal this idea. I swear I did not. So yeah, this will happen on an island, and this is where we're at this point in time. There's a lot of people saying, a lot of UFC contracted fighters saying like, "Hey Dana, I'll fight on an island," and hey, good for them. Good for them. Good for any fighter that's trying to get any fight going. If Dana White is successful, I mean, look, there's some questions, okay? And I've stated these questions before as well. I've said, what's going to happen? Like, are they going to test every single one before they get there for coronavirus, for COVID-19? How many people in the staff are there going to be? Are there going to be drones filming this? Who's going to be commentating this? Tell you the truth, I think there is a post here on Twitter, and it's saying Daniel Cormier is going to be there. Let's see. Losing over Dana White, replying to the fake account. Huh. Okay. I believe there's reports that Cormier is still going to announce that fight. He's going to be commentating on it. I don't know if he's doing that live at the island. I don't know if Dana White is going to the island. I would assume that Dana White's going to the island. And listen, guys, I know this is boxing on the go, but this is what we have to work with. unless you have another boxing card that's actually happening within a week or two. Doubt it. So that's what we're talking about right now is UFC stuff, and so don't get mad at me, okay? I know it's called Boxing on the Go, but that's where we're at. So I think in this video also, I'm pretty sure Dana White said pretty much these fighters, undercard, all these people will be flown into a remote area, centralized location. Then, I don't know if he's going to blindfold them. I don't know what is going to happen, but he said pretty much then they'll be taken to this island, but they won't know where they are. Like, are you going to take their phones away? What's going on here? I don't know what's going on with all that, but it's happening. So, I'm trying my best. We'll have a new segment coming up. It's myself and the family, but my daughter will be hosting pretty much this new podcast segment for in these times. But we've been talking about making this show for a couple months because the website is called Trilosophy, sports, music, and film. I love all those things. I love all three of those subjects. I'm sure all you guys love all those subjects. We listen to music every day, right? We watch movies or TV shows or TikToks or whatever. That's all film, okay? And we love sports. That's why you're here listening to this, right? Love boxing. Okay. I love football. I love a lot of other sports too. But it will be called Family and Music, as she has creatively named it. I gave her that task of doing that, and we'll be watching movies or rewatching movies. Older, newer, doesn't matter. And we'll be just discussing these movies, asking some questions, answering some questions, and we'll go from there. But stay tuned for that. And listen, it's going to be, we're in for the long haul. We're in for a rough ride. If it hasn't already, God bless you and your family. Please pray for anybody else, everyone else, hopefully you guys are all staying safe. Let's go ahead and, if you're quarantined and you have to go to the store, then go to the store. If you don't have to go to the store, don't go to the store. If you're going to go to the store, then please wear a mask, wear gloves, Also, I did want to share also, if you do not have a mask, you can make your own mask, okay? Out of like a t-shirt, right? So they have all the real facts and the real instructions. There's a video on how to make your own mask with 2 rubber bands and a piece of t-shirt from the official CDC website. So go to that if you need to go out and, get your essentials, get some food, get some toilet paper, get cleaning products, but stay home as much as you can, please, okay? I am your host, Noel Muro. Please stay safe. Subscribe if you like this place, if you like this podcast. Like it if you like it. Leave a review, leave some comments, give me some feedback. All right? Also, go on trilosophy.com, Instagram @trilosophy. Follow me, Noel, Moruso, Moruso, MORUSO71 on Twitter. Bye, guys.